what was the impact of Mircea Lucescu as human being, as professionist in your career?
Oh, I think he had a big impact, and I said many times that I think that the coaches who most influenced my career as a coach, but also as a player, were Mircea and Bielsa. Bielsa was already at the end of my career because I was in Mexico with him, and it was the year 95, so I was already 30 years old, 31. But Mircea, it was before, even if I think he could have even a bigger impact if I could have him as a coach when I was younger. But he changed really a lot in the way of preparing. In that period, I remember he already started to make profiles, individual profiles for each players that we were playing against.
Yes.
And I remember that he prepared me so well when we played against Roma. I played as a full left back against Thomas Hessler. Thomas Hessler was the half of me. Very quick, very fast in the small spaces, and this was not my best strength, to be honest. But in that match, thanks to the indication of Mircea, I could stop him easily. Easily, I mean, he didn't decide nothing.
Yes.
He was not decisive in that match.
Yes.
And then he was so good in working with the youngs, making the youngs improving a lot. And then, under the tactical aspect, was probably the first coach I had that was working under the tactical aspect. Because before, under the tactical aspect, not so much, nobody. But Mircea started.
He had the quality and still has the quality of an Italian coach.
He has,
tactics,
I always say that, look, Mircea, at the age of 80, almost, is still coaching the Romanian national team. And in football, nobody give nothing to you as a gift.
Yes.
What you achieved in the past is past. Doesn't matter. If Mircea is still at this level, it's because he's still one of the best. And I think that Mircea, his career is talking for him. He's so far one of the best coaches of all times. Despite the clubs in which he worked, but wherever he worked, he was successful.
Coming back to this period, can you recall your first meeting, your first discussion with Mircea Lucescu? Him as a coach and you as a player?
Mircea was the kind of person that I like to deal with because he had this character, of course, like me, like everybody, but he was direct. If he had something to say to you, he always said to you face to face. He said always vis-a-vis, vis-a-vis. And it was one of his strengths because he never betrayed nobody. Maybe we could have different opinions about things, but also I was never afraid to say my thoughts in the dressing room, in front of him, if he asked. And I think he always appreciated this attitude because I think in football the most important, not in football, in life in general, the most important thing between humans is to be loyal, the loyalty. And not always is in this way. So many times is the opposite.
Last year he said in the official conference press when he was named the coach of Romanian team that you've been the first who sent him a message.
No, I have very good relationship with Mircea.
This is something, you know?
Yeah. No, of course, but I always, in every of my interviews that I gave in the past since I started to be a coach. When I was asked about, I always say that the most influential coaches in my kind of being coach, then maybe I didn't take the best things from him, you know, maybe. But yes, he was the first, and afterwards he was Bielsa. So I think that is absolutely clear. My respect, my esteem for him since I was his player, and now I'm happy to. I went here in Budapest. I went to visit him when he was the coach of Dinamo Kiev. They played against Ferencváros, and I went to visit him here in the hotel. In that period, he suffered some
medical issues.
Yeah, he had some issues.
His leg.
But then I'm happy to see him. He recovered totally. I met him in the.
That structure to come back and to recover very quick.
No, he said he can't stay away. He can't stay away from football.
He's still 80.
You know, his life is football. You know, but all the people that could reach the level of Mircea in football is because he's obsessed by football.
He's a fanatic.
And great coach, great person. We are in contact. He gave to me in March his wishes for the match against Turkey. Unfortunately, we lost. But and I did the same with him. But we have really good relationship. I think that Mircea appreciate me also as a person and as a coach too. Of course, I'm not at his level, but he appreciate me also as a coach. So this kind of relationship, I think, is absolutely mutual.
Is there anything that you don't like at Mircea Lucescu?
No, what I can say is that at the beginning, when he started, because when he came to train Brescia, he came from Pisa.
Yeah.
And you know, in Italy, every environment, like probably in Romania, is different.
Completely different.
No?
Yeah.
And he had the first approach with the dressing room was not the best. I mean, there were many players that were not, that at the first moment were skeptics about him, about his attitude and everything. We started the championship, I remember, losing an important match. It was at the beginning of the championship, maybe the second match. We lost at home. The first was a draw, I think, but the second we lost at home against Lecce. In this moment, Brescia was a place in which the expectations were really high, and the venue of Mircea even increased these expectations. So it was a sensitive moment in which I remember me with 3 or 4 of the, we can say, more characterial players in the dressing room. We can say the leaders of the dressing room.
Influential players.
Yeah. With the leaders of the dressing room, we made a meeting between 5 of us. The others were youngs, not because they had not.
Yes, I understand.
So, and we said, hey, we have to support the coach because this is a good one. He has ideas. So we must support him without if and but. That's it. And it was what we did. And at the end, we won the league first, and it was really amazing for Brescia. The year later, we played really well. We had many opportunities to stay in the league. Then at the end, we lost the final match in the play-out against Udinese. Maybe in that match, we made a little bit too many mistakes. But we didn't deserve to arrive to the play-out. We deserved to be in the first league before. Probably in the years after, we could be stable in the first division. But that year was really unlucky. And I think that still now, the Brescia fans, they could remember really well that team.
Yes.
Because it was a really good one. especially for the quality of the foreigners, and the foreigners were Gică, Nelu, Florin,
Mateusz.
also Mateusz, very sympathetic, very, very sympathetic. I ever, scene in the dressing room that was so funny, because, he was in the dressing room. We were speaking in Italian. He was just arrived from Romania, so even if the language are similar in many words, but he could not understand what we were talking about. And we were talking, and some guys start on saying magari. Magari is to say literally maybe,
Yes,
hopefully.
Yes.
And he was thinking magar in Romanian is the donkey.
Donkey, yes.
Yes.
So, and this, he thought that someone said to him, Magar, at a certain point, and Gică, hey, what? So it was so funny, really funny. But they were good guys, all the four good guys.
Do you still talk with them?
Yes. With Florin, with Gică a little bit less. With Nelu, I'm always in contact.
It's right to brought you to Cluj a few years ago.
Yeah.
When
It
he
was
was
some years ago. Yeah. Nelu. We were also in that time was not like now. Now, when you travel, you go in the hotel. Each player is room,
his own room, yes.
own room. So everybody one by room. We were sleeping together in the same room all time long. The whole year in which we played together, we were always
You
together.
with,
Also with the family. We went in holiday with the family.
with Nelu Sabău and
With Nelu,
his wife.
Yes, and his wife. Yes.
You see yourself training till 80s? Like Mircea Lucescu?
I always say one thing, that the coaches don't need to run. The most important thing for a coach is having ideas or being open to what is happening in the football world.
And to be open to change.
To change
keep up with
everything.
the times.
To change everything, from the physical preparation, for the way of relation with the players. Today is completely different from 20 years ago. The mental preparation also, the tactical aspect. But today, it's clear that many coaches are always trying to improve, to increase their tactical knowledge. So it's not about being 40 or 80. If you could be 80, mentally much more open than a coach who is 4 years old. Because I know coaches who are basing their coaching style on what they lived as players. It's not enough.
Yes.
And Mircea, under this aspect, is fantastic, because he can see everything is happening all around him, and then, of course, he knows, like everybody knows, that the main character of the show are the players. Without the players, now we are going to play against Azerbaijan, for instance. Do you know who is the coach of Azerbaijan? Fernando Santos. Fernando Santos won the European Championship, to say the last two results. The European Championship in 2021 with Portugal, and then he won also the Nations League. Now he went from September to work for Azerbaijan, and till now he didn't win. I hope that will continue for the next two matches at least. But it's because if you are coaching Portugal, you can win everything. If you are coaching Azerbaijan, it's much more difficult. With all the respect for Azerbaijan and its players, but the quality is quality.
Do you think it was a risky decision by him to came back to the Romanian national football team at his age, in front of a very difficult...
And after
a good
3 decades
European
from
championship.
the last Mondial.
I think that in football, every time you have to show, there are always new challenges, a new target to be reached. If Mircea decided to come back to work for the Romanian national team, is because he's committed to do this, because he would like to do something for the Romanian national team, no? Because, of course, at his age, with his career, he has nothing to show to anybody.
Yes,
to
of
be
course,
honest.
nothing to prove
It's
more than he proved already.
he just came in order to help. And if people can understand, it's good. Then, if someone will not understand, it's his problem, not the problem of Mircea.
There are people in our country who said that maybe
Everywhere is the same. Nobody could be. I remember when in Italy, Lippi won the World Championship in 2006.
yes,
There,
people still talk
there
about-
was people in the television openly criticizing his style of playing.
So, yes.
you have a difficult job.
No, absolutely. But if you think that you can put through the result and also through the style of playing everybody on the same wave, you are wrong. You could never succeed on doing this because there is too many different kind of people in the world thinking in completely different way, seeing one thing can be seen in totally different way from you, from him, from me. So we must accept the criticism. Sometimes when there are disrespectful could be difficult to deal with, but it's our job. We are also paid for that. We must accept.
A few years ago, I think, Mircea Lucescu proposed you as one of the trainer to coach Romanian national team. How was that impact when you heard about?
No.
Because you've been here since 2012 and you are a real legend here in
No,
Hungary.
I am, to be honest, due to many reasons, deeply connected with Hungary. Now, I am also Hungarian citizen, so it was a big pleasure to hear what Mircea thought about me, because it's not that my brother said this about me. It was Mircea, of course. A big name, a big coach, a legend. So it was for me like a pride.
Yes.
But I since I came in Hungary, and especially since I took the position of coach here in the national team, my priority was always to fulfill with the contract that I had with the president. Also because the president is probably, if I'm not wrong, 71 years old, Mr. Sandor Chani, 72, 72. And I am 60, so we are belonging more or less
The same generation.
to the old generation,
Old school.
and for us is more important shaking the hand than sign a contract. So the president said to me several times some things that even in the contract is not written, so I didn't want do something that could be seen
Yes.
like,
A betrayal.
not loyal.
Yes.
So that's why.
You mentioned Gheorghe Hagi as a top player that you play with. How you see him today with his career and looking what he made done in the past?
I think that Gică was fantastic player. His career is talking about his qualities. He played in fantastic clubs between the best in the world, Barcelona, Real Madrid especially. But also in the other club in which he played always rising a very, very good level with many times reaching objective targets and something like that.
Like in Turkey, for example.
Of course. I think that many times thinking about this generation of players, like Gică, like some of the players with who I played, if they could play now in this football, their value could be not defined, because today there are players who thanks to maybe 6 months playing well, they have a value of 20 millions, 30 millions euro, something like that. But this kind of players of that generation with that quality, today I don't know which kind of value. A player like Maradona that was more or less in the same, which kind of value could have today? 1 billion of euro.
Something
How
like
much?
that maybe.
So I think that today, for the players like him, like Mancini, Gullit, or many of the players that in that period, in the 90s, were playing in Italy, playing today, because you have not to forget that many times we were trained to play another sport, not for football. Today, the physical coaches are much more prepared and focused on training well the players in order to make them prepare for the football match. I remember many times at the beginning of the week when I was a player and I was 25 years old, 24, we ran 7 or 8 times 1,000 meter in 4 minutes. It means at the beginning of the week, you will be so full of lactate that for the end you will still not recover. So we were not working to play football. So today there is everything to perform at the maximum of your potential. You have nutritionism. You have physical coaches that could be personal. Mental coaches. Psychologists. You can pay by your pocket these 3 professionals and you could be sure that you will reach your maximum level of performance. And this is something that the players must understand. Because even playing today, even playing 2 years more at the top level means a lot. If they don't understand this, it's because they are not so smart.
Besides Mircea Lucescu, who can you name as the favorite Romanian football player that you've seen? I don't know, in the past, now?
Football player?
Yes.
There are, to be honest, nowadays, I don't follow, to be honest, the Romanian Championship, but I've seen in the European Championship almost all the matches of the Romanian national team, and I think that they play well, especially in the first 3 matches.
Ukraine
3-0.
Yes.
I know that in Italy there are a couple of players really interesting. I've seen them playing because they are playing Parma with my player Balog, Botond. One is Dennis Mann.
Yes.
The other Dennis Mann.
Mihaila. His colleague.
Yeah, but I think that Romania now has some good players. This Stanciu also.
Yes.
He scored amazing goal. He has this
will be at Genoa.
facility in shooting. Really, no. I think that.
There's Van Marin who is playing at Cagliari.
Yes. No, there are players playing in the top leagues, and I think that Romania now is a team against who is difficult to play. Also before, but now since the moment in which Mircea came back, even more, I think. Even if the previous coach, now I don't remember.
Eduard Iordonescu.
Iordănescu.
The son
He
of
did well.
Angel Iordănescu.
Yeah,
if you-
he did well. He did well in the European Championship for sure. So when he left, maybe he had some problems with the federation. I don't know. I was sure that he
He
could
wants to
find
make
something.
separation and
But I was sure he went to work somewhere or
no, till now.
For the moment, no.
What
Yes.
was strange for me is that I was sure that he could find something
Yes.
after that kind of European Championship.
He wants to have 1 year off.
Okay.
It's his desire to
He's-
stay a little bit
Family
away.
problems. He said something on his own,
Okay,
but
it was his decision.
it's for sure that from this summer he will sign with somebody in Europe,
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. who
Hey,
knows?
Saudi Arabia, everybody would like to go. I don't know why, to be honest.
Maybe there is something about
Maybe,
Saudi.
maybe.
By the way, you've mentioned Parma earlier. What do you think about Cristi Chivu and his impact to the team? Because nowadays in Romania, everybody's talking about Cristi Chivu. The people is happy to see him coaching finally at the
And
No, he
has
just-
a little
level.
bit success.
He just started to coach, and I think that, of course, since he went to Parma, he did well. Now Parma has opportunity to stay in the league. Before, even with Pecchia, Parma played well, good style of playing. Many matches they were unlucky, absolutely. I remember many of the matches that I've seen that in which they were unlucky. But you know, the luck in football is very important. Napoleon chooses generals because of their luck, not because of their strategical abilities. And in football it's the same.
Yes.
So Pecchia was not lucky, to be honest. Since Chivu came, the things start on going better for Parma. The style of playing is absolutely balanced, solid. So I think he's doing absolutely well. Then if they will succeed on staying in the first league, in Serie A, it will be a big result for
Do
him
you
for
think
sure.
that he could rise up in a few years to
But I think in Italy, when you coach in first division in Serie A, you could work everywhere. So then, of course, after going during the championship, I think if they will stay, probably he will be the coach for the next season,
Yes.
and he could also make more experience. You know, in this job, you must do the step one by one. You haven't got to be too much, you know, to have too hurry
Yes.
to arrive immediately to the top. Sometimes could happen, sometimes not. So if you are doing your way step by step, but starting from Parma is already a very good start.
Without a doubt. Yes.
and it looks like Cristi Chivu made his small steps one at a time.
He coached at the Primavera a lot of years.
Yeah. No, but then it's important. It's important. Of course, it's always important to see where you could arrive, but never forgetting from where you started. Because if you start, for instance, from the amateur in Italy, like for instance did Sarri, and you arrive to gain a Scudetto with Juventus, to gain UEFA Cup with Chelsea, is because you have done something unbelievable. He didn't start from the first division. He
Yes.
started from the amateur, you know. Yes.
Also, a Romanian multimillionaire, Dan Șucu, maybe you heard, is
He's
the owner
of
Genoa, historical club in Italy. What do you think he could achieve there?
I think from the first impact, I didn't know him. I don't know him personally. I
Yes.
heard good things about him, especially from a person that knows both of us, me and Dan Șucu. And he started really well with Genoa. Genoa in the last, we can say 30 years, in which when they were in first division, I think they never play a kind of championship like this one. So safe, stable, And I think also the decision to sign Vieira was really good. Was a very good one. Vieira is doing really well. The club is stable under all the aspects. So I think that he will have success in Italy. And I wish to him. Yes.
I want to ask you if you work with so many Romanian guys, coaches, players. Do you know anything about Romania, especially, or do you know any Romanian words?
No, but some words.
No, not that word.
No, but no. In general, I went to Romania, to Bucharest, in the occasion of the last match of Gică. Then what I remember is being in Hungary. I went a couple of times to Arad, or
Yes.
close to Arad, with a friend of mine for just to take a walk to go there. And but yes, I had always very good relationship with all the Romanian that I met in my career, with who I had the opportunity to work. And to be honest, they were good, really good persons with values quite similar to mine. That's why I had this kind of feeling and relationship with them. But between them, I must say that my best friend is Nelu. Nelu Sabău is in my heart.